All right.
Okay.
Hey, I am Greg Prete with EXP, and we are in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico for Cabo 25, having a marvelous time. And I got to tell you, I'm a little starstruck, okay? And the reason why is because I'm sitting beside Rob Fleck. And I've seen a number of his YouTube videos about the wealth chart, about all kinds of things, his career as a naval fighter pilot, and just an amazing career uh, prior with Keller Williams, also of course, with EXP. And Rob, I just want to thank you, man. It's
Oh,
so very nice to meet you.
it's the least I could do.
Oh my gosh. But hey, I've been through with Brent's blessing and encouragement. He has encouraged me to do brief shorts, reels, maybe about 2 minutes. It's part of the invite process.
Sure.
Okay. And what we're doing is creating sort of a PDF. It's going to be absolutely compliant with the company. Just brief.
Okay.
Very elegant, like spring stuff that we saw.
Okay.
And but also a brief video showing them, hey, you know what? This is what this person did. This is where they were before. This is where they are now.
Yeah, yeah.
And then maybe just throw in a little zinger about, what I love about EXP is this, something I didn't expect to know. It was the culture, the support, everything is so exciting. And I know I'm kind of gushing here, but
you're doing a great job. Thank you.
You're right. I am doing a great job, man. I think I can get one of these shirts.
I have a lot of them. I like them.
Anyway, Rob, thank you for being with us.
Sure.
Just if you would just tell us a little bit about your prior company with Keller, with EXP.
Well, yeah, okay. I first started in real estate after I got out of the Navy.
Yeah.
And went with Coldwell Banker,
and
really liked it. Thought I had a set up. It was my career. I think it's really wonderful. And then I found out I had cancer, and went into the hospital. And the doctors had said it had spread dramatically, and that I literally, they said, we're going to have to start operating because it spread so much we can't radiate you all over.
Right.
They didn't have the ability to pinpoint that stuff back then. So they said, we're just going to open you up and take out everything that we can possibly think that you don't need, which is, a harrowing experience. Yeah. And so 3-4 years in the hospital, I couldn't work. And then in and out of hospitals, and I lost everything, went bankrupt. And while I was in the hospital, one of the things I thought about was I wanted to develop a financial safety net of a cash flow coming in that I didn't have to be there, that was rich or wealthy, never entered my mind.
Yeah.
I wanted to have enough money to be able to live full time for what the doctors were telling me wasn't going to be that much time.
Right. Sure.
And so I went looking around for how I could develop passive income streams within the real estate industry.
Yeah.
And I ran across KW. And my goal, when I was in the hospital, I said, I want to earn $100,000 a year. If I could make $100,000 a year, that'd be great. I don't have to make more than that. I'm good. Well, Keller had been around for 15, 16 years. And their number one profit sharing, because they have a profit sharing program, which is not the same as rev share.
Right.
And she was making half that, 50,000, after 16 years. So my deal was, and she lived in Austin, Texas. And so I didn't even know if this would be viable. So I flew to Austin, literally got on a plane, flew to Austin, and met with her and her husband, Bob, and said to ask her about this question so they could explain to me how the system really worked, because no one could really explain it. It was sort of convoluted. Now people are better at it, but back then not so good.
Yeah.
And one of the questions I asked her was how many people she had personally enrolled or recruited, whatever name you want to call it, attractions,
Sure.
in her 16 years. And it turned out she'd only referred 12, not even one a year. So she wasn't a big recruiter, at least at the beginning. And but over the years, those 12 referred others, to the tune of close to 1,000 agents. And she was getting $50,000 from that deal. So I asked her, why only 12? This is what changed everything for me. She said, because I never thought about it. It was never part of my business plan. It was sort of something happened haphazard in the beginning. People asked about it. And so I thought, wow, what if someone were to make this part of their business plan and really go after it in a systematized way, like you go after sales? And so I said, she had sponsored 12, and they had a 3-year vesting period like we do. And I thought, okay, if I can enroll 2 agents a month for 3 years, 72 agents, 6 times as many as she has, that has to create 100,000. And so that's what I went about doing. I went to sponsor 1 or 2. Well, it turns out, and I said, And when I was selling houses, I was never a big salesperson. I didn't have this production facility and all. You know, I had nothing. I don't even know if the internet existed that time. You know,
Yeah.
and so I thought, I had to do 10 listing appointments to get 2 listings. I mean, 20%. I'm like a failure. You know, I had to work hard to get them. Sometimes I didn't get 2, or sometimes I might get 3, maybe, but I wanted to get 2. And I thought maybe agents are the same. I'd have to show 10 to get 2. So I joined on the 4th of July, 1997, on purpose, because 3 years and 1 day from that, I wanted the entire country throwing a big bash for me every year for my freedom.
Nice.
Right? On the 4th of July.
Love it.
And so I started showing this to people. And by Christmas that year, I'd personally enrolled 30. I had no idea. A lot more joined than I thought. And so I got Recruiter of the Year nationwide I got a plaque. And I didn't care, didn't know.
But it was a beautiful plaque.
It was a great plaque. Yeah, it was made out. I can't even tell you. The name was wrong. It's funny. Anyway, yeah, I know, comedy of errors. Anyway, those 30, they were not interested in recruiting, but they wanted to sell houses.
Yeah.
They knew and understood and believed that if they sell houses, they make money.
Yeah.
And they didn't understand the concept of enrolling people in profit sharing or that kind of thing.
Sure.
So I said, well, you guys tee them up. I'll talk to them. And if they decide to join, you can enroll them. And since I enrolled you, it's a win-win. So they liked that idea. So between them and me working together, they enrolled another 120. So we had 150 agents in 6 months by Christmas, and 250 by the following summer. And then next thing you know, it started spreading too. And I started building out all of Arizona, Nevada, Utah, Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Alaska, Northern California. And I just traveled wherever the people were. Someone knew someone, I'd talk to them. We had to go in person because we didn't have
the technology.
Zoom.
Yeah.
You know, Zoom was great. I didn't even know what Zoom was till COVID.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's like, oh, that's Zoom. Okay. You know, and and so that was a really big deal. And so then it got to be 5,000 a month, and then 10,000 a month, and then 15,000 a month, and 20,000 a month, 25. And it was like, wow, this thing's really great. And so I retired. Yeah. I want to say I left them, and I think it was 04, pretty sure, right around there, which is 21 years ago.
Man.
I've been getting that check for 21 years, although lately it's significantly less. And they still tell me I'm top 20 in the country as far as profit sharing is concerned. But I wasn't there to go make a career. I was there to make $100,000 a year so I could live full-time with my family for as long as possible. My why was so big, I didn't care about the nose. I didn't care about the speed bumps, nothing. It was all about the why. That overcame everything.
So powerful. That is so powerful. Your why was that big that there was nothing that was going to stop you.
No, and I knew that I would find someone. I always thought I would look for people who are looking for me.
Yeah.
You know, or not for me, but for the system.
Sure.
Whatever it was. So when I talked to agents, I would say if there was a pain point, you know, I knew I would find out, you know, if they had a need, want, or desire, and then figure out how to fill it.
Yep.
And I would never like dump everything on them. I would ask them a lot of questions of what they were doing, where they were going, where the real estate business was. You know, if they were brand new, what would they recommend doing brand new? What's the best use of their time, the worst use of their time? What is, you know, the best use of their money, the worst thing, the stupidest thing they ever did, the best thing they ever did, and just, you know, to do it. And actually a while, and then I would say to them on a scale of 1 to 10, if 10 is incredible and 1 sucks, what grade would you give your real estate career today? Yeah. And most people said 6 or 7, interestingly enough. I mean, probably like 97% of the people, almost everybody said 6 or 7. And I said, well, what would make it a 10? And I would repeat it back to them. I said, that was interesting. Do you mind if I take notes? And I wrote it down. Yeah. And then afterwards, you know, I would see him and talk, because I had said to people, what I just want to do is I'd like to get together with you and talk real estate and what your strategy is and where you're going real estate and your exit plan and like what's your exit plan. And I would would you rather have coffee, tea, or cocktails? Yeah. Get together before work, lunch, or, you know, on the way home. Absolutely. And 10 or 15 minutes, I'd talk to them. And I would never say anything really to them. And I said, well, I just really enjoyed talking to you. They give me a lot of thoughts. Because one of the things I would say is, what's your exit plan? How do you get out of this? That's right. You know, how long you want to be in real estate? What do you want to do? And I said, and I also like to know your top 6, your top 6 income streams. Yeah. What are your top 6? Like they say, most millionaires, multimillionaires have 7 to 10 minimum. How many do you have, and what are your best 5? And they would look at me like a deer in the headlight, like what? You know,
because their whole thinking was on one stream.
Didn't have it.
One stream.
So like a week later, I would call up and I'd say, you know, were you serious? Because I found a pain point in what you said. Were you serious? Because I think I found a way to solve it. Do you mind us getting together again and just chatting about it? I'll
Absolutely.
share with you the idea if you
Yeah.
want. If you don't, that's fine.
Yeah.
And that's how I would get together with them like that. And I
Love
just
it.
did that on a daily basis.
Yeah. You know,
Oh, EXP was, an explosion. I tried to avoid it. I tried not to see it. I tried to stay away from it because I didn't need it at the time. I was traveling around the world. I have no debt. I've been through bankruptcy. That's why I had no debt. And traveling the world, you make $300,000 a year.
Yeah.
You can be okay, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And not perfect, but it's good. Better than most. Not as good as many.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so Gene is the one that showed this to me, and he was pleasantly persistent, and he wouldn't stop, and it was like irritating. Okay, fine, I'll see this. And he grabbed a bottle of scotch, 4 cigars, and he went out to his porch, and it was raining, and I saw the scotch and the cigars, two of my favorite at that time.
Yeah.
So I followed the bottle and the scotch and the cigars, and out we went. And and that's when he did his napkin deal. He started at 11:30. By 4:30, I think he was almost done.
My goodness.
It was a long one. It was like, okay, Gene, all right, I'll do this. Oh my God.
Just stop.
Yeah. Right. And to this day, I've never put those napkins in order because they flew all over. It was windy, wet, and muggy, and I can't even read what this says. So I thought, I'm going to have to do a different kind of presentation because I don't ever want to go through that again. But I still joined. It didn't matter how bad he was. He sucked. It was terrible. But he's gotten better. But it didn't matter. That's why I've said you can't say the right thing to the wrong person, and you can't say the wrong thing to the right one.
Right.
They're going to join even if you completely screw it up.
Yeah.
If they go, whoa, I think I saw something. It doesn't matter.
Right.
In fact, the worse you are, the better, because they go like this. If that fool's making anything, I'm going to kill this. Oh, my God. We're ready. How about that? You good?
That's beautiful, man.
Oh, hey. He's going to show this to people that don't know you. What kind of, talk some numbers. It's so astonishing.
Well, it's not, it's very, people get scared when I tell them the actual numbers,
Yeah.
Just think about this. I shared this.
And by the way, thank you for couching it the way you did just now, because I would agree with you. The numbers tend to be so astronomical.
So
I think
big.
that some people say, "Oh, well, that's
There's
just
no
not,
way that
that's not going to happen in my life."
I will tell you this: 4, 5, 6 years ago, because I've only been with EXP 9 years.
Yeah.
And I think 6 years ago, my rev share began hitting over 6 figures a week.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been doing that for a long time.
Yeah.
And so it's like, wow. So what I did was, my goal was to show it to 10 people a month, minimum 10. And I did that for 8 of the 9 years, because one of the 9 years I was recuperating from nearly dying and really bad news health problem, which I'm really glad I had RevShare coming in that paid all the bills of everything going on. It still grew during that time.
Yeah.
In fact, during COVID, my business more than doubled each year. Poof, poof. It was unbelievable. Yeah, because we were virtual and they shut down the world, so we had to be virtual.
Yeah.
It was like, wow, let's find another world crisis,
Hey, can I share something with you real fast?
Yeah.
So one of the reasons why my brother left Coldwell Banker after 30 years, okay, in the last 28 straight years, the top 1% in California, okay, for 28 straight years. And he came to EXP because he was heavily impressed with the support and the technology to better serve his clients.
Yes.
And more than 700 people, 24/7, working at EXP. And now in 24 countries. 24 countries.
Yeah,
for goodness sake.
I know.
And so yeah, my brother Rick, he's going after luxury. He is excited. He should be here, Rick.
Well, here's the thing that I say like this. I don't care how much you sell.
Yeah.
You don't ever get free. You don't ever get time freedom and money freedom.
Bingo.
I wanted time freedom and money for control of both. Yeah. You can make a ton of money, but you give up your life.
Yeah.
For a big portion of it.
Yeah.
Right. And the other side is everything that you do and develop. You're saying it doesn't matter what real estate company. If you're building it into assets so that you can be, when you die, 50% of those assets get taken from you.
Right.
From the government, right?
Yeah.
At EXP, if you build RevShare big, it passes to your children estate tax free. You think about that. My financial planner said that is one of the most amazing, powerful little things. It's avoiding the biggest tax you'll ever have is the death tax. Yeah. And you think about this because it's all based on future sales. You have a sales team, but that's not worth anything if they don't sell.
That's right.
You can't tax what's not happening. So there's nothing to tax,
Yeah.
but they'll have to pay income tax on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But estate tax free, they go, that's worth millions
Yeah. You know,
for someone who understands
as,
finance.
as Scott and I talk to potential recruits, you know, one of the great questions is, hey, as you say, what is your exit strategy? And it's like, gosh, you know, I don't really see how I can, because I've got this great life and I need to continue, you know, opening lock boxes and doing what I do. I have my team, but there's no second or tertiary way to earn income, whether it be through stock ownership or, as you say, rev share.
Well, I would.
And
They certainly begin buying real estate.
They can't get out, and actually, you know,
As long as they don't leverage it too bad, because in a bad year, then it goes away.
Exactly.
You know, when in 86 and 80, 86, 87, 88,
Yeah.
I lost all the houses that I had leveraged. The houses that I owned 100%, I still have.
Yeah. You know,
hello. Wow, that was unique.
Do you know Kurt Shewell in Detroit? You must know.
I've heard,
Of course, Kurt Shewell. He's a fantastic trainer.
Okay.
I mean, I just love this guy, Kurt Shewell.
Yeah.
And he jokes about, you know, there's no retirement party, and I got in his face in a fun banter way. I said, man, there sure is a retirement party.
There is.
It's called your memorial.
You know what?
It's when you pass away, man. And
well, I always ask people,
you can't get
how
out.
much money do they need to win, or let's say earn, to have coming in to cover their life expenses, so they can live however they want without money ever entering their mind, whatever it is. And I can tell you, I've never run across anybody that I couldn't design a plan for that would do that. And most times it's less than most people think. It isn't millions, really isn't. And for most people, will completely, utterly change their life. You don't have to do it. And I have a thing on YouTube. You could go to it. You search Rob Flick Wealth Chart Training. It will show you a plan of how to go from zero to $500,000 a year in passive income in 3 years or less, 4 hours a week, if you work the system.
Right.
You know, it's doable. It's been done over and over again. It's been successful to the tune of thousands and thousands of agents. And that, as you said, worldwide, throughout the United States and worldwide. And that's very, very exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, there's more starfish out there for us to save. And that's how I feel like I'm doing it.
Yeah.
Because I know we have the deal. I don't care what they say, they don't have the deal. They may think they do. They're misguided.
Yeah.
But I don't hold it against them.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it just may take you a few years to realize you're off track. You know, it's okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Hopefully you'll get back.
Yeah. You know, you remind me of the guidance system of an airplane. How it's every millisecond it's recalculating.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, other people may not have that guidance system or that computer.
Right.
And you start flying a few miles and you're only a mile off of your your destination.
You have to constantly keep correcting.
Oh, exactly.
That's why the trim tab is always moving.
That's right. Hey, listen, it's so nice to meet you.
It was my pleasure. When do I get my check?
Absolutely.
No, just kidding.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Absolutely. Anyway, we'll see you again.
All right.
And I just can't thank you enough.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Have a great day.
Yeah, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Thank you.
Oh, thanks.